Hello, everybody. I'm a cartoon cat now, apparently. Ooh. Okay, so I usually do these monthly updates in writing, but I want to start experimenting more with video. So here's a vlog. Bringing back vlogs like it's, oh my god, everything's bringing back vlogs like it's the mid O's. Anyway, so here's what I did last month. One, CatTuber, this digital puppet thing you're seeing right now. Two, AI therapist. I'm being my own guinea pig for some AI therapy thing. And three, Joymaxxing, a meta analysis of what actually works for depression. So let's get right to it.
Cat? I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, and I dance. Cat?
This live digital puppet tool thing. It's really janky right now. I know it looks bad, but it's gonna get better with more work. I did this in like a couple of weeks. So why am I making this? Well, unfortunately, video killed the everything else star, and my blog and my explorables are not getting the reach that they used to. So you know what? You win. You win. I'm shifting to video like everyone else. But how should I make videos? Imagine a 2D graph of fun for you to watch and easy for me to make. So a live digital puppet would actually be the best trade-off of both, in my opinion. So why would I make my own digital puppet and not use VTube or Live 2D? Okay, well, a little bit of not invented here syndrome, but also I just don't like how VTube animates. It's kind of like floaty, you know? I also have some background in animation, so I want to code my own tool that actually incorporates, those 12 principles of animation. For example, if you look closely here, this puppet's head actually rotates 50% more than my actual head. And also same with the position, it like moves like slightly more than that, and that is a glitch. I told you this is janky. Anyway, so this is exaggeration, the 10th principle of animation. Again, very early prototype, so there's no squash and stretch, no secondary animation, none of the other principles. Also no custom hand signs or head angles. But you can see on the left here, where's my other hand? There we go. See on the left, there. It is actually tracking my hand stuff and my face data. So we're using the MediaPipe API. So all that data exists for me to turn into a digital puppet. Easier said than done, but I think I can do it. Obviously I can't do like Studio Ghibli level like style animations, but I think something like on par with like BoJack Horseman or Inside Job, that's achievable. So when all this works more or less, I'll open source the tool and you can see me, and the hands are crossed because glitched. When this all works, I'll open source the tool and you can see me as a cat on the internet. Cat on the internet telling you about my research and my projects. For example, such as...
Lie down on the couch? What does that mean? You're a nut!
I'm Canadian. Fun fact, Canada's universal healthcare doesn't cover therapy. And down in our neighbor, the US, a third of adults can't get the mental health services they need, while 60% of therapists have no openings for new patients. The situation is pretty bad, all around. So, if AI therapists work, it could save like thousands of lives, and it wouldn't even put human therapists out of a job because the demand so overwhelmingly outstrips supply. But do AI therapists work? Like, what if they backfire or psychophantically enable your worst tendencies? So, for science, because I was waiting for a human therapist spot to open up in months, I used Claude to experiment with an AI therapist, quote unquote. You can't see me do quote marks with this prototype. Yeah, so I used Claude to experiment with an AI therapist and be its first guinea pig. I am the patient and programmer. Programmer again in scare quotes because I'm just using prompting. Anyway, my results in very short summary. Month 1, it was good for like small decisions and planning. It instantly fucked up as soon as I opened up about like deeper, raw emotions and stuff. Month 2, I actually fixed that by injecting a custom prompt every single message instead of just the start, the initial system prompt. This is to prevent the context drift. Like as soon as the chat gets longer and longer, like it gets worse and worse. So I actually was able to chat with Claude about some like pretty dark childhood stuff, and the conversation actually went like fine, and it was kind of helpful. Anyway, month 3, I finally got a human therapist. I finally got off the wait list, and so now I can compare them to the AI therapist. And to be honest, I think the AI therapist is actually better. To be fair, the human therapist was kind of bog standard CBT. That's cognitive behavioral therapy, not the other CBT. And, they're not queer or trauma informed. So I didn't really vibe that much with them. So I'll try again with a different human therapist, and then we can properly, fairly compare between AI therapy and human therapy. Anyway, so that is the really, really short version. And if you want more details, check out the links I put in the comments below. Anyway, so right now I'm actually at a pretty good cadence with my AI therapist, just, checking in every day a little bit. But honestly, there's probably like a medium-ish limit to what therapy alone can do, like whether or not that's human or AI. And that actually brings me to my final project.
The world looks so damn beautiful. I feel fantastic.
One problem with having been a gifted kid is that you'll try to study your way out of mental health problems instead of trying to actually fix them. Anyway, last month I made a 200-row spreadsheet ranking hundreds of things that people have claimed helps with depression. I checked out dozens of therapy styles, various drugs and supplements, lifestyle changes, beliefs, habits, etc. And each thing was ranked on 3 criteria: effect size, evidence quality, and easiness to change. I didn't combine them all to get a total score. And so, without any further yapping, here's the top 4 things that you can do for your mental health, according to my sloppy spreadsheet so far. 1. Cardio or aerobic exercise. Don't worry, you don't need to sign up for a gym or even go jogging. You can do this at home with no equipment or even bothering your downstairs neighbors. And this is seriously worth it. It has a larger effect. Cardio has a larger effect on depression than therapy and antidepressants combined. Seriously, actually, that's huge. 2. Sleep quality or circadian rhythm. Yeah, I know, kind of cliche, but sleep actually is important. But also as a bonus, by the way, light therapy seems to work even for non-seasonal depression. Also, binaural beats for sleep might not be bullshit. I'll have to just double check the research on that one. 3. 2 grams a day of omega-3, that's 60% or more of EPA, and 4,000 IU per day of vitamin D. These are cheap and over-the-counter, and they're actually on par or better than antidepressants versus active placebo. And they basically have no side effects. So that's pretty huge. And 4, therapy, but focused mostly on outer work. Yeah, so it turns out that therapies that focus on the past or your inner cognitions, don't actually have a robust improvement over therapies that just focus on behaviors and solutions. If you want to know thyself, that's still worth it for its own sake, but in terms of actual effects on depression that's measurable, therapy to just focus on behaviors, exposure, and solutions actually seems to work best. Also pretty encouraging, therapy that's guided by a book or even LLMs, AI stuff, actually seems to work about as well as a human therapist. Again, not out of the box LLMs, not ChatGPT. It has to actually be specialized. Again, more links in the description. Anyway, note, this list will change as I do deeper research and fact checking, but I'm pretty sure these top 4 are going to be at least in a top 10 even by the end of all this research. Also, in case that list sounded too obvious, here's what I was surprised did not make the list. Gratitude journaling, mindfulness meditation, faith in religion or humanity, charity and volunteering. Those do help a bit, and I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. There's more to life than just not being sad. But if you want the best bang for your buck for depression, try those 4 interventions. Hapa. These are really the big ones. So if and when I finish this research project, I'll give a lot more detail, and I might do similar meta-analysis for ADHD because me doing 3 new projects this past month when I'm still a year behind on my main. So that's what I've been making recently. And you may be wondering, Nikki, where's the AI safety explainers? The part 3 of the thing that you promised a year ago. Where is it? Okay. So long story short, in December of last year, I got all my devices taken, phone, laptop, iPad, gone. So that put a delay in the AI safety explainer. Then I did a few month-long AI safety research camp. Then it was time for a vacation, and I don't have any excuse now, but the muse just struck me. The muse just struck me for these 3 projects. And in my defense, the CatTuber thing will actually help me make more explainers in AI safety and other math and science stuff. The AI therapist and Joymaxxing project will help my mental health anyway, and maybe yours when the projects are out, well, if the projects are out. But yeah, so anyway, the plan next month is to finally finish that thing, AI safety for fleshy humans. Maybe like October is when it's gonna come out. Then I guess keep posting one vlog a month in the meantime and afterwards, and one other project per 2 months. Which project? I don't know, one of these things in this giant, huge backlog of mine. So let me know in the comments what you think of those 3 projects that I've been doing this past month, and which of those future projects in that frame back there that you're excited for. This is so that I can get feedback on what to prioritize, and also commenting helps appease the algorithmic gods, since apparently I'm a YouTuber now. And oh yeah, I should tell you to hit the subscribe button, right? Yeah, do that. Hit it like it owes you money. All right, bye. Ah.